Welcome back everybody. Today we take a deep dive into one of the Second World War's most fiendish and cunning weapons, the Type 7C U-boat. The Type 7 was based on earlier successful designs from World War I, the Type 3 and especially the cancelled project for the Type UG. In the years between World War I and World War II, Germany wasn't allowed to manufacture submarines due to the Treaty of Versailles, which was supposed to severely limit Germany's ability to manufacture weapons of war. But with the rise of the Nazis and Adolf Hitler, the Treaty of Versailles was roundly ignored and treated with absolute contempt by Hitler. But still, the Nazis covered their tracks by handing out design contracts to foreign shipyards. The Type UG design went to NV Ingenieurskantoor voor Scheepsbouw, or in English, Engineering Office for Shipbuilding, in Holland. The final designs for the Type 7A, which all future variants would be based on, were completed in 1934 by Deschimag AG Wesser in Bremen, and manufacture began in earnest from 1935. All Type 7A U-boats, barring two, were sank during World War II. The two surviving Type 7A U-boats, U-29 and U-30, were both scuttled, and it must be noted that U-29, commanded by Otto Schuhart, was responsible for sinking the aircraft carrier HMS Courageous on the 17th of September 1939, the first British warship sunk in the war by enemy action. The final variant of the Type 7 was the Type 7C. Although the Type 7C was not the most successful in terms of tonnage sunk during World War II, that honour falls to the Type 7B, it was certainly the most numerous and arguably caused the most havoc amongst Allied convoys at the time. 568 Type 7C U-boats were commissioned between 1940 and 1945. The Type 7C is probably the most well-known type of U-boat, as it was featured in the TV series Das Boot. I have to add that even though the U-boats of World War II sank millions of tons of shipping, 3 out of 4 of all World War II U-boats were sunk by the Allies. Figures vary for the losses on both sides, but a total of 768 U-boats were sent to the bottom, with a loss of 30,000 lives. Figures vary for Allied losses, but the Allies lost in the region of 36,000 navy, 32,000 merchant seamen, 3,500 merchant vessels, 175 warships, 741 aircraft of RAF Coastal Command. The numbers and human cost are truly unimaginable. I would ask you to spare a thought for those brave men and women of the Navy, Air Force and Merchant Marine who gave their lives for the freedoms we now enjoy. Well, that's our little history of the Type 7 U-boats. Now here's my take on the wonderful 1:72 scale Type 7C from Revell of Germany, which I built 21 years ago, together with working features. And here she is. A lot of channel OGs will have seen her before in live streams and a few shorts when I first started posting to the channel a couple of years ago. I thought it was about time I coupled her together with the Little History documentary to finalise the whole thing. To say she is a little rough around the edges would be an understatement. She really could do with a repaint now that my skills have improved from being a part of the larger YouTube builder maker community. The main colours for the hull are airbrushed and topside all hand painted with Tamiya XFs. The kit itself really impressed me with its fit, its finish and general lack of flash. Everything fit perfectly, even with its 1 metre length. My real intention with this kit was to convert her to full remote control. The sudden realisation that to make her full remote control it would mean spending a considerable amount of cash on aftermarket parts to make her submersible, I had to wind back my plans and go as far as I could with the parts and materials that I had to hand. And here is where you wonderful, amazing viewers can help. Don't worry, I'm not after your money. You can keep that in your pockets. If you can find it in your heart to hit that subscribe button, it's absolutely free. Click the thumbs up and leave a comment. It will give the YouTube algorithm a nudge to get my content noticed. The more advertising revenue that comes in, the more content I can make, and the bigger the projects. I don't actively promote memberships because I know money is tight for all of us right now, but they are there, and all members get early access to all my content. Right, back to the build. As I mentioned before, I had intended to make her fully submersible, but the cost put me off. I still wanted her to be remote control, so installed a servo for the rudder and two 540 motors for the prop shafts. The prop shafts are scratch built from 3mm brass tube with 1.5-ish mm brass rods. The actual propellers are from the kit and super glued on. Sometimes I don't know where my ideas come from, but I had intended to make her with a steampunkish interior, hence the curly control rods. But soon lost faith in that idea. Maybe with my next submarine project I can go the whole hog. Here she is being soak tested in the bath, something the wife says I should do more often. I'm pretty sure she's talking about the sub. I'm sure by now you want to see how she does on some real water. After more soak testing in the garden paddling pool, I set off for the River Ouse in York to give her a proper run out. Well, we made it to the river, my favourite bit for sailing, and the V2C, just about to set her up and get her in the water, give her a little run out. We'll have the underwater cam on this as well, so it's going to be cool. There's the on-off switch and there's a charging port, little tiny micro 1mm screws on this as well. So first time out on the water in 20 years since I last built it, so here we go. There we go, all set. Got the bridge on, got busted a few pieces off on the way here, but that was always going to be the case. I can just glue them back on, it's not a worry.